Welcome to the Marketing Report. My name is Russell Pearson, and this podcast is for passionate yet frustrated business people who are looking for a competitive edge. And welcome to the new year. This is the first week of the new year, and so I've got my top 10 tips to transform your business throughout this new year, and I've got it right in my hand here. It's a hot little list, and to make it even easier, I've made it my tiny top 10. So these are small actions that you can be implementing in your business that very well may transform your business, whether you put one of these things into action or whether you put all 10 of these things into action. The mystery, the key behind all of it is action though. So if you don't action any of it, if you just think about it, nothing is going to change. Now, number one on the list is to review your profit centers. So whether you're running services or whether you're running products, review your profit margins on those products and services across the year. Whether you're running a calendar year and you're actually at the end of the year, you can review all your statistics, or whether you're at a 6-month point, review where you're at. Where are the profits in your business? How can you be focusing on those areas that are giving you the most profit and potentially even getting rid of those ones that are actually going backwards and not getting you any profit unless they are great lead generators into the larger profit centers within your business. So review them. What are your profit margins? Make sure if you're doing services that you're counting your time. If you're not already, make sure you've got a figure that actually is how much is the cost of your time, so that you're not looking at a service that you're delivering, which might be a consulting piece, and actually not counting the amount of hours that you're actually taking to implement something like that. And obviously, cost of products, it's not just the product itself, it's also the delivery time, the handling time, the shipping, all the logistics that go into delivering that profit. So what is your profit margin in each of the different centers within your business? So that's number one. Number two is to create a goal and announce it. So this, whether it be a small goal or whether it be a large goal, it's about creating a goal within your business. Now that could be a SMART goal, or it could just be you making a statement, but the point is to make it publicly. That's what tip 2 is about. So SMART goals, as we know, are specific, measurable, actionable, results driven, and timely. So you make sure you've got all those things written down when you're actually defining your goal. But the point of number 2 is to announce it publicly. Now, whether you share it with your entire list, as far as announcing it publicly to your clients, or whether you announce it publicly to your team, or whether you share it with colleagues and friends, the point is to announce it publicly, because you're much more likely to complete the goal and do the activities to complete the goal if you have announced it publicly, because suddenly your reputation is on the line. Let's move to number 3. So number 3 is write a story. Now, you could write any story, but the story I would love you to write is your origin story. How did you come to start the business that you have started? What was it that actually inspired you to move forward and create the business that you're in right now? And then using that story and sharing it with the world will enable people to understand your why. The why question has become a very difficult one to answer, and you've got everyone like Simon Sinek and a whole bunch of others saying you need to define your why. Well, in actual fact, you can just go back to the reason you started your business in the first place and write that story so that you potentially can share it with the world. Even if you don't share it with the world, even if you just write that story to keep it for yourself, it will re-energize you and get you more focus as to the reason that you started the business in the first place. So that's number 3. Number 4, check your rankings. So that's ideally focused on Google, but it could be any platform where you're actually sitting against competitors. How do you rank? So if you're looking at Google, put in the phrases that you would expect to come up in the Google search engines, and where do you place in that ranking? Are you on the first page? Or are you in the top 3 on that? Where are you placed? And if you're not placed very well, it's usually because you don't have any search engine optimization, and search engine optimization changes all the time as far as the rules. So you might need to get educated about what that means for you and your business, and define whether that's something you want to invest your time and money into. So, but where do you rank? It's a really good way to review where you're at. And it's also a good way to see what your competitors are doing online, to see how they're engaging your potential customers. So that was number 4. Number 5 is update your profile. Now, again, this is focused mainly on LinkedIn, but it could be anywhere where you've actually written about who you are and what you do. This is a practice of getting clear about specifically what is it that you do for your customers now. If you wrote your profile 2 years ago, it potentially is quite different as for your reasons on how you're going to market and why you're going to market to attract the certain type of people within your world. So update your profile, make it a conversation with the person who's reading it, so it's one-on-one. So it's not this third-party recommendation about who you are. Your profile, especially on something like LinkedIn or Facebook or other, should be describing who you are for the audience that ideally you'll be attracting to read that profile. So this is a year to update your profile. So that was number 5. Number 6, publish something. Publish anything. How are you going to go to market with publishing something? So this could be taking your origin story that you just wrote and publishing it somewhere. You might want to actually publish via writing. You might want to publish via video, or you might want to do something like what I've done, as I'm doing video and audio, and I'm actually publishing this as a podcast as well as publishing it on video as well. So publish something. It's a great way to engage new customers. It's a great way to engage old customers. Publishing something also allows you to refocus on what your messages are, what your thinking is currently, and what you're trying to say to the market. So publish something. A little trick when it comes to publishing, if you want to write articles, you can literally give a call during these next couple of weeks to industry journals who are always looking out for good stories and say, are you interested on me suggesting or submitting an article for you to publish in an upcoming publication? Now that could be an online publication, or it could be an offline magazine or something like that. 5 out of 10 times, I would say, they will say, yes, I'm interested in seeing what you've got. And they'll say, maybe send me 3 articles. Do that, you're going to get published. So publish something. It's not that difficult. You can write an article in less than an hour and then get it out to the people who want to read it. Number 7, call 10 people. 10 little phone calls. This can be to clients, this can be to referral partners, this can be to people that you're looking to engage for new business activities or venture partners that you want to do collaborations with. But call 10 people. So call 10 business people that you may not have called in a long time, potentially mentor opportunities. Who are the 10 people who you really should be getting in contact with, because you never know what opportunities come up when you go out there and actually start having conversations. So call 10 people and you'll see what will come from those conversations. And most of the time, it will be all new opportunities. So number 7 is call 10 people. Number 8, create a hook. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, create a message, whether it be a sales message or a marketing message, that'll actually get people to come and have a look at what you've got. Now, one of the easiest ways to create a hook is just using a headline, where you might use it in an email, you might use it on a web page that says, get this thing without this pain that you've got. So the example in a hook is, let's say that I'm talking to a frustrated business owner. I will say 10 ways to grow your business within the next 30 days without the pain of waiting for your team to implement it. There's a certain pain that will be attached to it, and there'll be certain pleasure that they're looking to get. You can create a hook. That's a very simple way to create a hook. Another way to create a hook would be creating an interesting image or an interesting video that will have people click through to the thing that you've got, either for sale or just to engage with you in a further way. So I use hooks mainly to bring people from social media or through advertising through to a landing page, at which place I've got something of value that they might want to sign up for. So create a hook, which you can then use on your profile, on your website, on your advertising, on just about anywhere to engage people to come and have a look at what you might have for them. So number 8, create a hook. Number 9, send an email. So many of you will be creating emails that you'll be sending on a regular basis, some once a month, some every 2 weeks. Some of you will be creating emails far more regularly than that. And surprisingly, I get a lot of feedback with people saying that no one reads emails anymore. It's completely false. Email is one of the best ways to get in front of people outside of knocking on their door and actually being there when they open it. So email marketing, or at least email communication, is a fantastic way of getting your message out to people. So send an email. So whether to your list, or whether you're sending an email to someone incredibly important in your life, or who you would like to be incredibly important in your life, send that email. I don't care what it is. but send a purposeful email out to someone where you want to increase your opportunity this year. Number 10, and that we've counted all the way down. So number 1, review your profit centers. Number 2, make a goal and announcement. Number 3, write a story, ideally your origin story. Number 4, check your rankings on Google's and other search engines. Google or other search engines. Number 5, update your profile. That's LinkedIn or other social platforms. Number 6, publish something. Number 7, call 10 people. Number 8, create a hook. Number 9, send an email. I'm just talking about one simple email. It can go to 1,000 people. It can go to one person. I don't mind, as long as there's a purpose behind it. And number 10, we've counted all the way down to number 10. But number 10 is define a practice for this year. So what is one thing that you could do on a regular basis that if you did it regularly and consistently, you would get better at it because it's a practice. And by putting that practice on a regular basis, it will change the focus of your business. Now, an example of practice is what I'm doing here with this podcast. I'm creating a podcast every single week and I'm getting it out there to you all, and it's already having a massive impact. And we are only up to, I think, number 11 or 12, but 11 or 12 of them as already engaging a whole bunch of people and opportunities coming through this form of publishing. But what is the practice for you? I heard a story recently about Kobe Bryant, and that even after he had won a whole bunch of different championships in the NBA, he was still doing 400 free throws, and whether he would have to do 400 successful free throws, whether he had to do 800 shots, 400 shots, or 1,000 shots, he would still do that practice on a regular basis, and that is why he is one of the best in the world. So what do you want to be the best in the world at? Define that as a practice for this next 12 months. So there's your 10 tiny tips. Action one of them or action all 10 of them. I'd love to hear which ones that you do put into practice and which ones benefit you the most, because I'm hoping and wishing and praying that you have the most successful year in the next 12 months, and I want to hear all about it. Now, you know I'm passionate about business. I hope you are too. I want to re-energize you across this year and actually spark that passion in you and actually flame the fire that's actually going to continue to reinforce the energy that you need to put into your business every single week. Stay passionate, and I'll catch you next week. Make sure to visit russellpearson.com for more podcast episodes, videos, and more. russellpearson.com.